Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of Georgia Gwinnett College. This is the Grizzly Talk Podcast with your host, Kennedy Patterson and Cezar. Welcome back to the show, my man. If you guys if you missed last week's episode, of course, Cezar had his debut episode for the podcast. And he's back again to talk about some topics here for GTP, streaming on Spotify, iHeart Radio, Pandora. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, we launched it today. Of course, the GTP 94.6, the radio station, is now launched for Spotify and iTunes. We'll talk about that a little bit more later in this podcast. But Cezar, what's going on, man?
It's good.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah, happy Thursday. Rainy Thursday.
Rainy Thursday. As I noticed this, I had to move my car to GGC Athletics. Now, we're live in GGC Athletics. Fortunately, we're not in the GDN media room. We're here at the Student-Athletic Study Lounge. I've hosted an event in here before, so, it's really, really good to be back in this room in particular. But as you come in and you were soaking wet, I felt bad because I had to go get my car and, we had to meet up and it was soaking wet.
It was
so
pretty good to walk in the rain.
I like that. To be honest, true story. I work out, and sometimes I run in the rain. Not heavy rain like it is today, but if it's a little drizzle, I have some music in, I'm running in it, and it just, I don't know. That feeling is it's amazing. So, first on our topic list for the Grizzly Talk Podcast, Cezar, are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
You mentioned this before we got on the air. SGA will be having their voting. They had pizza. They're having pizza is what I heard. Casting pizza and your votes. So for GGC students out there, you guys can, of course, enjoy free pizza, and then you get to meet the candidates and cast your vote for SGA for this coming year. I have to ask you, what's your favorite type of pizza?
To be honest, I'm the type that likes pineapple on it.
So you're more supreme.
Yeah.
Kind of?
Yeah, anything on pizza is good to me at this point. Yeah.
Okay. I'm a supreme guy myself.
Yeah,
I like the
good.
pineapple, the mushroom. People say, ugh, you like pineapple on your pizza?
Most things work on pizza. I really do. You
Yeah,
can put
it does.
anything on it.
Now, are you one of those people that do ranch on their pizza?
Sometimes. If it's like a plain pizza, like just pepperoni or cheese, then sure, why not?
I couldn't do it.
Can't do that one?
No, back in high school, believe it or not, high school and middle school, they had, kids who would get pizza, the lunchroom pizza,
right.
Dip it all the way in ranch. It's so gross, and I see people eat it.
I don't know, it's good. It's like, I guess it's like dipping like garlic bread or something.
Garlic bread. Garlic bread's good, though. I love garlic bread.
Into ranch.
So, Olas, you heard of Olas, the Latin? Oh, man, we got to get in contact with you with Olas. Olas will be kicking off their first event for the spring. It's in Olas. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. It's in Spanish. I'm not really good on Spanish. Noche de Juegos?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe if I'm saying that right.
It's the Noche de Juegos.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Spread the word and get ready for a fun night. It'll be 7 days from now. They have a counter on their Instagram, and it's really cool that RSOs are having a counter because people know when it is. They actually have the flyer. If you go to the OLAS account, that's OLAS_GGC, they invite all of the GGC students for the first event for the spring semester. Come out and watch the GGC RSOs compete in a cultural Jeopardy and trivia-style game and a chance to win prizes. Now, it's good that they're doing this in February because we talked about this on the podcast before, but I believe Greenlight did the Grizzly Black History Family Feud. Yeah. So they're really, a lot of RSOs are going for this game night kind of thing for February and learning their culture. Really cool. Now, I have to ask, which one you like better? Do you like Family Feud or Jeopardy? I had to put you on the spot there.
That's a hard one.
I got to go with my man Steve Harvey with Family Feud.
Yeah, Family Feud has like some funniness. Funny things.
They make it very. Steve Harvey makes it very, very funny on the show.
He's always surprised at some answer.
Yes, and it's live too, and he doesn't care because he knows that it brings out a good show, and people it's viral. So Olas decided to do, of course, cultural for Jeopardy. Jeopardy's been going on for a very, very long time. So my applause to Olas for doing something like that, of course, to learn about the culture here for sure. And now, the next topic we're going to talk about, Cezar, are you a gambling man?
No, not really. You need money to gamble.
Yeah, you do need money to gamble for sure. I am a little bit of a gambling man, not too much. So Level 1 Game Room, they had an event, Casino Night.
Oh, yeah. I had heard of this one.
They had an actual, I don't know what it's called, the people that's dealing, I guess the casino dealer with blackjack. They had, professional dealer. Of course, they had chips, they had cards, and it looks like from their Instagram, you guys can follow their Instagram at level1.gameroom or also Greenlight, because Greenlight hosted this event as well. In the game room, they had blackjack. They had, I think they had crabs, and then they had some food there too. So they had it last night. The casino night is very, very exciting. Based off their Instagram, it looks like they had a good time. They're really bringing a kind of a culture here in America, and allowing us college students to become a little bit of a grown adult, a little bit, I guess, when it comes to gambling and playing blackjack. But
really cool.
No money was involved, of course.
Right,
you can't gamble here in college with some money. But they did have some prizes, so it's a really neat experience.
Yeah.
I enjoy RSOs that come out and they do something like that to really bring out that culture for sure. For sure. Now, the next topic, Cezar, is Grizzly Health. Now, I like to dig into Grizzly Health just a little bit simply because health is very important.
Of course.
We just had our Econ Quiz 2, Test 2. Yeah. And that test was a beast. Shout out to Dr. Wesker. She's a great professor, awesome professor, teaching us macroeconomics. But we like to encourage the GGC students about health. As we get ready for midterm semester,
yeah.
We're getting ready for wellness in the students, and they're getting the stress is on just a little bit. Stress is on before spring break and after spring break. You can come out and learn it, of course, every Wednesday. Get this. Every Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Student Center lobby. The wellness program will be having events every Wednesday to talk about health. That's great. Do you what are your methods when you finish up maybe an exam or a project? What are the things that you do to help cope with the stress and kind of tone it down a little bit?
I'll just try to do something that is relaxing. Like the gym is pretty helpful actually.
Yes.
To like de-stress and stuff. That's what I've found is the best for me at least. But yeah, besides that, just doing like relaxing things or chilling if you have the time or something.
Right. Probably do some gaming too.
Right. Yeah.
You mentioned gym. What's your the most you bench press? How much? I had to put you on the spot there.
I don't even. I don't bench press that much.
Well, I do. I don't do it how the GGC Athletics do. I mean, I've seen them girls and gals and gentlemen. They work out and they push. They really push for sure. And I don't know. I know how they do it because I've seen how they do it. I've seen how they work out and I've seen how they do it for sure. But
it's pretty cool.
They go. They really go.
Insane.
So, Cezar, we talked about it in class today, and I mentioned it before. We launched the GTP 94.6 radio station to where you're listening to us now, either on that radio station, or you probably just going to your fans out here. You're probably listening to us via Spotify or IHeart Radio like normal. I wanted to kind of explain GTP 94.6 real quick because I don't want people to get confused here at GGC. There is such a thing as, of course, Grizzlies on air radio station, which will still be launched in March. One thing we decided to do here with Grizzly Talk Podcast and GTP as a brand and as GGC's first ever podcast, we wanted to test the waters for sure for the students. So there still will be a Grizzlies on air radio station. GTP 94.6 is a GTP branded radio station for us for our RSO. Essentially, GGC might have 2 radio stations. We're testing the waters to see how our player goes out. We want to see how the stats go out, so that way we can sort of learn from this experiment for sure. So it's kind of a learning curve with the radio station. So I wanted to bring that out to GGC students because I don't want people to think that it's confusion. Did I forget about Grizzlies on air radio? We did not forget. We want to see where our heads lie with the radio station, and we wanted to test the waters for sure. Cezar, you mentioned radio stations, and what inspired you to want to come on for GGC podcast, but in the radio and business in the first place?
The whole aspect of the radio station is really interesting to me. I don't know. I just always thought it's just really cool. It's a really cool idea to be able to give like the GGC community a voice and have music breaks, and it's really cool. Everyone's listening to like podcasts and stuff now too. They're really popular. Some people listen to them more than actual music.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is music, of course, clean music. If your fans out there, if GGC alumni or GGC as a whole, when you're listening to the radio station, there is music breaks there. Clean music, all clean. 100% clean music, so rest assured that we're not playing songs that a college student might like but can't really promote and have that out there for the air. So I just wanted to be sure on that for sure. Next topic, GGC student employment. I think this was before you came on the podcast, but I was able to interview a representative for student employment, and they do a phenomenal job via their Instagram and helping students get paid here at GGC versus it's being work study. That's their biggest clientele is work study here at GGC. Right. Shout out to GGC _ student employment. That's their Instagram. They have a trivia going on right now. Student employment trivia. They started on Tuesday, so they do it every Tuesday. Today's Thursday, but every Tuesday they're going to do the trivia. So we encourage you guys, GGC community, to go out to their Instagram for sure to take a look for their Trivia Tuesday. Of course, they have GGC alumni. Shout out to Matt Mahoney. He let us know that Myron is a gentleman that was a part of GDN for the longest time. He was also on the GGC alumni board. Very, very exciting for sure. I love it that, he's graduated from GGC, but he's coming back for something very new. Next, let's talk about GGC soccer. I wanted to talk about them just a little bit. I know it's not really their season, but they're doing a lot of training off season. And let me see if I can get some video. So there is video, and I like to play videos on the podcast for sure. I'm going to let you guys just hear it. It's a workout session. These ladies, they're pushing. So you guys can follow their Instagram. It's GGC _W soccer. They're getting ready for the next season of fall of 2020. That is going to be a great semester. It's going to be a sad semester because yours truly will be graduating. But it's a sad occasion for me, but it's a good occasion for GGC women's soccer. And I've seen some things from men's soccer too. I was able to talk to some of the gentlemen today from men's soccer. We had a good conversation about radio, believe it or not. They asked me how far am I going? Am I going to do a lot of media coverage for them? And I told them, yes, we will, for the radio station and for podcasting for sure. So that's going to do it here for the Grizzly Talk Podcast Thursday's episode. Please be sure, again, to like all of our social media, whether it's our Instagram at Grizzly _talk. Huge following. Get this. 1,693.
Wow.
As I checked this morning.
Pretty great.
When I left my house, I checked that score. That's how many followers we have right now. So if you guys haven't followed us yet, what are you waiting for? Please be sure to check us out for our Instagram. It's huge. You guys can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeart Radio. Last but not least, you mentioned you changed your Instagram name.
I did change my Instagram.
Okay, so tell the people, what's that new Instagram?
It's now the Cezar Project.
The Cezar
and that's it. And it's simpler than my other one. And
I like the other one, but I like this one better.
This one. Yeah.
The Cezar Project, of course. Cezar, thank you again for coming on this podcast.
I hope to come on many more.
Many more. So that's going to do. Oh, one more thing, ladies and gentlemen, GGC. Please be sure to check out our radio station. Again, it's not the Grizzly on Air radio station. That's still coming up in March, but this is our second radio station to kind of test the waters as GTP 94.6, the radio station. That is available on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So please be sure to check us out on there for sure. That's going to do it for the Grizzly Talk Podcast Thursday's episode with your host, Kennedy Patterson, along with Cezar. Go Grizzlies, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast.